Subscribe to 𝐋𝐄𝐀𝐊𝐄𝐃. Press the bell icon and never miss another video update.
𝐋𝐄𝐀𝐊𝐄𝐃 does not add review of any political parties, individuals, or religious group. This show is just for comedy purposes only. It might contain scenes with strong languages, strong satirical humor, links to a relative you might know, and references some may find offensive. If that kind of thing will offend you, because close your browser now and get out of here. Get out of here, man! Shit, I'm saying! Because that's what we do!
Comedians are absolutely insane. That is illegal.
Africa, oh, Africa, yeah. Africa, oh, Africa, America, eh. Oh, that sounds sweet.
Just have a way of ruining anything I want to do. Just have a way. Why? What did you just sing?
I sing African song.
Joshua.
May you.
You see, African leaders, they are not good people. African leaders, they are the worst human beings in this world. I don't know why people are surprised when this Cyril Ramaphosa's audio leaked. I don't know why they are surprised, because African leaders, they are the most selfish human beings on this world. In this world,
Yes.
is it in Nigeria that they use all our funds to run their APC campaign? Or even when PDP was in power, it was the government money they were using to run campaigns. So why are we surprised?
If anybody see African leaders or leaked whatever they have done in the past out to show how wicked they are, they should not be surprised. There are no new things under the newest.
I knew you say something stupid.
You guessed. So either they are doing well, most of them they cannot even do well. You cannot do anything. We have to just accept show our fist.
Okay, let them watch, and when they come back we'll talk.
Audio recording from an ANC NEC meeting. We understand about a year ago the meeting happened. It was leaked to the Inside Factor in December last year. Now Ramaphosa can be heard saying that he's prepared to take the fall to protect the governing party's image. Let's take a listen to that recording now.
Investigations will reveal that a lot of money, of public money, was used. And I said in this case, I am prepared to fall on the sword so that the CR17 campaign, yes, should be the only one that's looked at and not the others. Because the image of the African National Congress is what I am most concerned about. Each one of us knows that quite a bit of money that is used in campaigns, in bussing people around, in doing all manner of things, is often from state resources and public resources. And we cannot kid ourselves when it comes to that. One of the officials said, as these people from the state security were testifying, one of the officials said, soon they will be revealing about how money from the SSA was used for some campaigns. And I said, heaven forbid. I would rather they say, yes, you got money from this businessman for CR17, than for the public to finally hear that their money, public money, was used to advance certain campaigns. So, Comrade Tony and all comrades, on this need for transparency, I'm all for it. And you will recall, comrades, after the Nazareth conference, I was the first one to say we need to develop guidelines on how we run campaigns. I was the first one.
All right, let's now bring in the ANC's head of presidency, Sibongile Besani. Thanks for your time, Sibongile. I appreciate it. So listening to that clip, It seems very obvious to anyone who does hear it that the president seems to be acknowledging that state funds have been used for ANC campaigns. How do you explain or defend that?
Thank you very much. The president explains there that there is testimony, or some of officials have made reference to the state usage of state resources. And in the context of that, officials, as you would know, that at the Zondo Commission, one of the senior state officials made a testimony to the effect that state coffers were used for ANC activity. So the president says, this is what we all know. And if this is what we all know, therefore, we need to be transparent about it. In other words, the president makes reference to what all of us have heard publicly. He was not referring to something that is not in the public knowledge.
Yes, but he goes on, right? He acknowledges that we have heard in the state capture inquiry that public funds from the SSA, the State Security Agency, were used for campaigning. And he says that we all know that happened. And this is the tricky part here. He says, I would rather they say, yes, we got the money from this businessman for the CR17 campaign, than for the public to finally hear that the money, public money, was used to advance certain campaigns. That line is problematic because it seems like the president is trying to deflect about the public use, or public money rather, being used for ANC campaigns.
It shouldn't be problematic if one has the full context of the meeting. At the meeting, various complaints about some campaigns were brought to the fore. And the president, in the context of that meeting, he was explaining that he would not want people to divert attention to what was being discussed at that point, which was the CR17 funds. And the president was making a call that it is something, it is different when people receive money from maybe, let's say, individuals or private individuals, than for campaigns of the ANC, than find out that it is the state coffers that were used for campaigns. So the point he was trying to make here is that we should not drag the name of the ANC into the campaigns, especially with regard to corruption, with regards to using state coffers for the campaigns.
Why not, though? If that was the case, if public money was used for ANC campaigns, which is clearly wrong, why not drag the ANC into the mud for that? Because it seems to be a matter of fact in this leaked audio.
The fact here is that the president, you and I, had heard state senior officials testifying before the Zondo Commission that state resources, coffers, were used for campaigns. And the president was decrying that kind of a tendency. And based on what we have heard from various officials of government at the Zondo Commission, that amounted to what we knew and what the president knows. So it is not like the president was hiding something that the public did not know. The reference was made to what he had heard at the Zondo Commission, which is what we knew. That is why he was making a call that we'd rather hear that individuals are contributing to the ANC than hear that the ANC is using state coffers for our campaigns. Here he was not hiding something, he was saying, this is what we know people have said. That's the point that the president was saying. He was not saying, I know something that you don't know. He was not saying that.
Yes, but the bigger issue is that the ANC acknowledges that public funds, and the president does in the clip, public funds are used for ANC campaigns. And the president is here saying that, no, instead of letting them find out about that, let's focus on them hearing about businessmen funding the CR17 campaign. So it looks like he's trying to hide very important information from the public. And as the president of the country, if he has knowledge and facts that public funds are used for ANC campaigns, then that's the concerning aspect of this.
No, the president was not alluding to that. The president was saying, we all know that there is, in fact, to the effect, we all know that various people have testified before the Zondo Commission that the ANC, people have been using state coffers to campaign in the ANC. And he says it is something that we should declare, that we should not actually, and that is the context that I'm explaining now, that he says, no, we shouldn't drag the ANC into that.
Why
it is
not?
Something different. Why should you drag the name of the ANC when you, as an individual, are using state coffers? If an individual uses state coffers for his campaign, don't drag the ANC. And it is so we shouldn't lead. You see, as a leader of any organization, you make sure that the integrity, the image of that organization is not dragged in the mud. So he was trying to talk to the colleagues that we should not drag the name of the ANC when our activities are not in line.
Well, actually, you should. Because as the president of any party, if there is a problem, you shouldn't be saying we shouldn't drag the ANC's name in the mud. You should actually say that this is quite concerning and we need to address this because it's public money that was supposed to be used for public services, not for ANC campaigns. So I'm not understanding the way you're trying to explain this to me because it's still problematic if that's what you're saying.
Can I repeat myself? And I'll try to be short. There's a full context of the meeting. What is being discussed, the CR17 funds. The president of the ANC says, look, it is important that we realize that there's a difference between getting money from private people than the ANC as an organization receiving money using state coffers for its activities and in a corrupt way. That's what the president, there's a difference there. No president, no individual should drag the name of the ANC in the mud for his own personal campaigns in the ANC. I don't see why should the president not reprimand or call for members, his colleagues in an ANC meeting, not to involve themselves in such activities.
If the president is acknowledging that public funds were used for ANC campaigns, have you as the ANC established how this happened?
The president makes reference to what is in the public knowledge. He makes reference to officials who have made even testimonies or who are going to make testimonies to the Zondo Commission. That is what everybody knows. And he says, let us not deceive ourselves. We all know that this is coming and this has been testified. So
yes.
He does not say, I'm hiding something. Yes.
It sounds like it is, Bongile. No, it does sound like he is hiding something because of that line. And I'll read it again because I'm not the only one who has listened to this and thought that there's something untoward about what the president is saying. And I'll read it again. He says, I would rather, and that's the word, I would rather they say, yes, he got money from this businessman for CR17 than for the public to finally hear, another way where he says finally hear, that the money, public money, was used to advance certain campaigns. Now, you see, the words used are key. You can say that the president is acknowledging the fact that the ANC knows that public funds were used for campaigns through the Zondo Commission. But how the president actually responds to that is key, because he says, I would rather let them hear that businessmen paid the CR17 campaign than actually letting them know that public funds was used. Now, that is the suspicious line in this leaked audio, and I'm still not understanding your explanation about it. So, try again.
No, the point I'm making is, if I say to my child or to any person that I would rather get money from elsewhere or from this individual than use state coffers, that is not an admission of guilt. It is actually an explanation to that person that we should not drag us into using state coffers for what I want to do. And we should not drag the ANC for usage of state coffers. I would rather prefer to hear the public say, no, he got money from this person and that person. Not the ANC.
That's dodgy.
Being dragged into this.
Spongile.
No, it's not dodgy.
No, it is dodgy.
You don't. Now, can I say something? Remember, I said initially, my opening remarks, there's an issue of context of what was being discussed. There's a number of issues that were being addressed. The first one was that people were coming with other campaigns. The president says, no, let's not discuss other campaigns. Let's focus on this one. That is the matter on the table, which was the CR17 funds. The matter that is being discussed in the NEC, the matter that is being discussed at that stage, ventilated in the courts of law. So it's not about being dodgy. It's about saying, let's not drag the ANC into this. People got if we get funds from individuals, let's not say it is the ANC. It is us who are involved in those activities. That's the point we're trying to make. I don't see how that is dodgy. And in a meeting, any president, any leader has got a right in the meeting of that party to require, to ask, to plead with his colleagues that let us maintain the image of this organization. There is nothing wrong if in a meeting of an organization to require and demand of members that let us uphold the best ethical practices of the organization. And this is not about comparing whether the country comes first and the party comes first than the country. That is not the issue. The issue is that we are in a meeting of a political party who are being requested. There's a plea that let us maintain, uphold the image of this organization and not drag it into issues of possible individual corrupt activities.
So maintaining the image of the party entailed the president saying, let's focus on CR17 and let's the public hear about possible businessmen funding the CR17 campaign over them hearing about public funds being used to fund the ANC's campaigns. That's maintaining the image of the party for you.
No. Part of the context, which the public may not be privy to because it was a meeting of the NEC. The issue on the table was the CR17 funds. And in the context of that discussion, other campaigns were being questioned and so on. So the president said, no, I don't want to be accused of diverting attention from this particular matter. So let me focus on this one. So if we are to maintain the image of the organization, let's not drag the organization into disrepute.
Too late for that, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if it is too late for that, because you must also take note of the fact that that audio was leaked to perpetuate a distortion that seemed to have gripped the media. That's why continuously we do our best to contextualize that particular audio, because it's clear that it is leaked. It has not been received in legal ways, but instead of arguing the legal issue, we explain the context, which not everybody is privy to.
Okay, you can verify that the audio, though, right? That is the president being heard in that audio clip.
No, I'm not speaking in technical terms that it is his voice. I'm speaking of the fact that I've been attending NEC meetings and I know part of this discussion entails the matter that I've heard in the audio.
Okay, and just in terms of the way forward then, and in particular with the public money being used for ANC campaigns, has the NEC dealt with that? Because this audio, of course, is from last year.
No, the ANC has taken a view. Remember, from 2001, we have through the eye of the needle. You know, the issue of usage of state funds, corruption, and so on, are issues that the ANC does not condone. But whenever we're faced with these reports of corruption and so on, we have agreed on a judicial commission of inquiry, which is the Zondo, which is beginning to present to make public its findings and recommendations. And we're at that stage that we're dealing with that. And the ANC has even gone further to adopt processes and mechanisms to ensure that anyone who's indicted or who's accused of corruption is either he steps aside or face the Integrity Commission. So we're acting on those things. The ANC is not silent. We're not just observing. Right now, the ANC has resolved to develop a task team that will look closely at the commission, at the recommendations and the findings of the, so that as we renew the African National Congress, we're able to integrate some of the shortcomings that might hinder, that might impact on the organization. All that we're saying is that there is a commission of inquiry, which is a product of the resolution of conference. And the ANC has set up a task team to look at that inquiry so that we are also as an organization and look at how best we can renew ourselves.
All right, one last question. You mentioned that this audio was leaked intentionally. Who do you think has an agenda here by leaking this audio? Because clearly it was somebody from that NEC meeting.
No, I wouldn't know. Obviously, if an audio of a meeting that invites specific people obvious it might be a person who was part of that meeting. Whether, it's obvious, but I can't say who is it.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. ANC Head of Presidency, Sibongile Besani.
The truth is that nothing is going to happen to Cyril Ramaphosa.
Well, yeah.
There is nothing that will happen.
Well,
highest he will tell you South Africans that the audio was doctored.
Most of his people will say that is not. It's just like when the fake pastor is talking, the members will say,
You will see the ANC people will come out and support Cyril from now till tomorrow. There is nothing that will happen because ANC is the ruling party. That is exactly what happens. In Nigeria, even if Buhari does anything, nothing will happen because APC is the ruling party.
When they killed the NSAS protesters, till tomorrow, we still ask, till date, till right now, nobody could fish out who give the order. Till date. So is it not from the same government that that one said nobody was killed? Minister for Information Nigeria, Lailai Muhammad, he said nobody was killed. At the end of the day, it was shown that people were killed. Now
they are silent.
Who give the order?
They have gone deaf and dumb.
And when you see them sitting together, they will tell you nobody, none from
and us. The fact remains that all of them they wine and dine together. Both the ANC and the other political parties, they are all politicians.
Mayor.
They are
just carrying the masses up and down, fooling you. Is it not the same party? When you are in this party now, you talk bad about the other party.
Then
when you lose, you now shift, you go to, now you come back to the party you have condemned. You say this party is bad. Tomorrow you will still come back. This is
the truth is that Africans are shameless. African politicians, they have no shame. They have no integrity whatsoever. So don't be surprised. Even if more audios of Cyril Ramaphosa comes out, there's nothing that will happen. But you know what I like South Africans? The other day, they like to burn things. If they know where Cyril Ramaphosa's house is, it's gone. The other day was their parliamentary building that they went on fire. The other day was one pot. They don't send anybody. South Africans, if they get angry now, they will mobilize and go and burn everything.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. South Africans. It's not like Nigerians that are passive. The South Africans, they don't care. They will burn things.
But accept your faint, yeah. Accept your faint.
This is how it is all over Africa. This is how it is all over Africa. African leaders, they are useless. So we have accepted our fate. We have accepted.
Since a long time ago.
There's nothing. See, what do you think we can do to liberate Africa?
Nothing.
When the pastors, they are there doing their own, the politicians, at least the politicians, we can even know that, this one, people can still be angry at the politicians. But the pastors, they've used Bible and religious hula baloo to hold people. Touch not my anointed. It's not just the pastors, the imams. In the north, they've told them that this particular thing is Allah that brought him. Don't talk against him. Don't fight him. So Africa, sorry, South Africans. I know you people, I trust you people. You don't take nonsense. You will burn things. But it is well. Thank you guys for watching this episode. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and laugh me. Follow me on Instagram and come in and follow us on our social media handles and I'm just curious. Don't forget guys, question everything because normal is boring.
Don't forget to share and please don't burn anything. The best way you can burn.
They will burn.
No.
South Africans will burn.
Yes, okay, agree. But my own burn is make sure you are born again.
Washiri.